I'm popping back into the podcast feed because today we are celebrating 6 years of building the skill of bravery for women in tech. And in this episode, I'm building upon my last episode, giving you an update on my side and sharing some brave choices that I've been making. In my last podcast episode called Bravely Bejeweled Reflections on a Year of Loss and My Choice to Allow 2025, I shared my personal year of loss in 2024, how I was choosing to approach 2025, and two key updates for people who listen to this podcast. Thank you, by the way, as well as those of you who want to work with me. And again, thank you for that so much. I ended that episode with two questions. Number one, what was your most significant experience in 2024? And number two, what is your intention for 2025? The responses that came in and have kept trickling in since January, those responses have both warmed my heart and confirmed that we, you and me, all of us, we need each other. Not just as humans connecting in a time of incredible political and financial and cultural and personal upheaval, but as women in tech who are part of an industry that is struggling in new and also entrenched ways. We are in a big phase of change. And is there still a lot of opportunity for women in tech? Let me stress this very clearly. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Particularly for those who are willing to build the skill of bravery and have the privilege or build the privilege over time to set a course that is rooted in their skills, personality, goals, dreams, and morals. There is a lot of opportunity for women who leave behind what doesn't work and has never worked for us, for women who stop chasing approval and acceptance and start moving with strategic, human focused relationships, relationships that are both future focused and purpose oriented. Women who build their brave careers starting with clarity, moving into momentum, and then holding steady with accountability over and over and over again, ever more intentionally each time. And for each of these elements that I just listed out, I have a specific podcast episode. So dive into the back catalog. In other words, there's opportunity for you. All of that said, let's talk. And I want to share some of the brave choices that I've been making. I shared how 2024 was a year of loss for me. I also shared how I was approaching 2025, not with a traditional goal, but rather an intention to allow. That's also my word of the year. If that hasn't opened up a series of unexpected and currently rewarding doors, quick reminder throughout my business, and I don't talk about it on my podcast because of privacy and compliance reasons. I've mentioned it in passing, but throughout my business, I have been consulting a wide range of tech companies and other organizations on organizational change management. It served a number of purposes: networking growth into new industries and areas of the world, skill building and learning about new content areas, processes, functional expertise, laws, and policies, as well as a steady income for my business because I'm rather choosy. And we know that about which clients I work with, how and for how long. And frankly, I also just enjoy being a part of a team, working at the highest levels, driving change to support people. Okay, here's the news. In January, I accepted a full time company internal role as an organizational change management. I'm responsible for building their internal practice of change, as well as delivery on extremely ambitious and very necessary digital transformation efforts. So clearly, there's a team involved. This is absolutely right up my alley, both skill wise and experience wise, since I've already done that type of effort in a variety of situations and places. But here's the kicker: This company is small. It's global, but it's small. And I still can't believe this myself, makes paper. Y'all, I work for a paper company. I actually sort of kind of know how paper is made. I've walked a mill. I've experienced the roar of the machines. I've seen and smelt the complexity of the process. I'm impressed. And side note, I hope everyone knows how much I write and how much I journal, but this experience is helping me appreciate and care for my paper even more. So, why did I make such a bold, big step? And why am I sharing it with you? Well, because that's what brave people do. We make bold steps. And that's what I do here. I share the stories of my clients, leaders in the tech space, as well as my own to help strengthen your own skill of bravery. So I want to walk through this in the terms of my Build Your Brave Career framework. If you're not familiar with that, there's a number of episodes that break down the framework as well as the underlying methodologies. Really quickly, there are three phases. Number one, clarity, which is summed up by a statement. I set clear, specific goals and share them with the people around me. Part two, momentum. I spend just as much time feeling my way to success as I do working towards it. And then number three, accountability. And the phrase is I choose who I want to become and do the work to become her. Oh, quick reminder 2024 was harsh and it was hard. I knew it was not being who I want to be, let alone who I want to become. And I was ready to shift my life. I started with accountability. I had to identify where that gap was. And then I needed to start to shift my life and that professional element of my life at the same time. So that was accountability. Then I got into clarity. I set clear and specific goals and I shared them with the people around me. I worked with both my coach at the time and my therapist at the time. Both have changed since, but at the time and realized that I had to make some big steps. I had to ease my health system. I was getting sick over and over and over again, as well as get more structure and more collaboration, be part of a team into my day. Knowing that, I started telling everyone and anyone that I was open to longer term, maybe even full time consulting engagement. That's when I moved into momentum. Remember, momentum is I spend just as much time feeling my way to success as I do working towards it. Now, I was formally on the market for longer term consulting work. And I had a lot of work to do. You know that feeling, right? Like you have gotten to clarity and then you realize how much work is in front of you. Oh, I had that feeling as well. But I had to do the work, right? So I updated my consulting materials, my LinkedIn, my resume, and leads started trickling and then swimming in from all over the world. It was a lot to go through. Somewhere, and I want to stress at this moment, the more people you tell, the more opportunities are going to be coming towards you. So you need to tell people, just like I was telling anyone and everyone, right? Some of the opportunities weren't a fit for strategic reasons, others for pay or travel demands or time zone, and others for behavior and attitude from the company. And I can very clearly say here, I am disgusted by how many companies are choosing to speak with and treat folks on the market for employment or for consulting services. I mean, sure, the market may be one way right now. They have so much power, but it isn't going to stay that way. Okay. And folks like me, like you, we remember who misbehaved. Okay. Back to the point. A friend of a friend forwarded me an open job rec. This is somebody that I've been on a group call with one time. They don't work in tech, they don't work in paper, but they just happened to be somewhere and they found this. And that's how it came to me. This is why you have to set a goal and tell everyone about it. At the time, I wasn't super interested in full-time work. I mean, I've been open to it for the right opportunity, but the way that the position was described showed a thoughtfulness and an unexpected openness towards maturity growth. And so I do believe in knocking on doors like that. The full process took months, which for a normal candidate would have been a major problem. But for me was exactly right. I was coaching, I was working on other consulting projects, and I was exploring the company as well as the potential role. I spent a lot of time talking to the recruiter. Seriously, I think I telephoned with her 6, maybe even 7 times. It was a lot. Had multiple rounds of interviews with panels of leaders from this company. I asked a lot of probing questions. I was answering even more. And what shone through was the kindness, the genuine care that these people have for each other, and in many cases with each other. What also pulled me in was that the problem this company faces is deeply unique. I mean, I started reaching out to people in the manufacturing space to be like, Is this what is this? Because I'm not in manufacturing. Like, how does this work?" And quite frankly, no one had worked on a problem statement, at least in my network, that was more than a 50% match. I mean, that's fucking cool. Working on a unique corporate issue. Wow. And I'm sorry that I can't share more because there's obviously privacy reasons that I'm not sharing more, right? But that really pulled me in. And then it came to the final stretch. They made an offer. The company had listened to what I said in terms of numbers, reporting desires, and role level. Because, yes, I am a former global senior director at a major tech company. I don't enjoy that type of work. I don't want to do that type of work. I'm glad other people want to do that type of work in a multinational. But I really, truly, deeply enjoy moving between the strategic, the design, and the executional, like actually delivering to the frontline workers. I made that clear, and they met me right in the role and the impact that I had described. So I joined, and it has been one hell of a ride in the last 6 months. In some ways, it's better than I imagined from the interview process. Folks truly are kind. In fact, they're kinder and they're more thoughtful and they're a lot more caring than I certainly have ever experienced. Sometimes it makes me uncomfortable. So I'm still kind of growing into that with my accountability, right? They are also wicked freaking smart about things I have never even thought about. So I'm learning a lot. And in other ways, it's worse. There's no PMO, there are no delivery standard, no people oriented KPIs for the program. And sometimes caring becomes a weakness for governance, for prioritization, and managing the very limited but very impactful elements of poor behavior that pop up in any group of people. Overall, it's been a great choice for me. Slowing down my nervous system and creating more structure and being in collaboration. The team I am a part of meets all of that and more. Sometimes it's a struggle to remember and to remind myself that I chose to enter this team as a member and not as a director. But thankfully, as I already mentioned, I work for a pretty incredible human who has transformative experience, skills, and one hell of a talent. And I'm a part of a team that is amazing, so smart and so hardworking, but also playful and joyful and fun. And we hold our boundaries to a better level than I've seen in other transformational offices. In addition, I've continued to coach my clients, and I know that my coaching and my clients are benefiting wildly from my lived experience of being employed and leading a team again. The results that they are creating just in the last 6 months include a relocation to a new region, a brand new role at a company with 10% more income in this market. 10%, hello. Leaving a toxic situation of very well documented discrimination with a banging severance of about 3 years of pay and benefits, to quietly choosing to work 5 and then 10 hours less each week and more. If you want to see the results of the 2025 client survey, I'll link it in the show notes and it's also on my website. So definitely check that out. I will be welcoming one new client this year, most likely starting in September. I have a few people on the waiting list. So if you want to get on that list, or if you want to do a 3 hour intensive on a weekend for a specific topic, please send me an email at nicole@trickshineback.com, again in the show notes. In closing, well, 2024 was a year for me of immense challenges, losses, lessons, and connection. 2025 is shaping up to be a year of more surprises and intentional choices for redefinition, forgiveness, grief, acceptance, and joy. A lot of fucking joy. All because I choose and chose to be brave when it's hard and when it isn't. I truly believe that building the skill of bravery is the most powerful choice a woman in tech can make. I stress less. So can you. I work less and within my boundaries. So can you. I earn more. And so can you. Brave it up.